In the vast, deep forest of Hyrule, long have I served as the guardian spirit. I am known as the Deku Tree. The children of the forest, the Kokiri, live here with me. Each Kokiri has his or her own guardian fairy. However, there is one boy who does not have a fairy. Navi, Navi, where art thou? Come hither! O Navi the fairy, listen to my words, the words of the Deku Tree. Dost thou sense it? The climate of evil descending upon this realm. Malevolent forces even now are mustering to attack our land of Hyrule. For so long, the Kokiri Forest, the source of life, has stood as a barrier, deterring outsiders and maintaining the order of the world. But before this tremendous evil power, my power is as nothing. It seems the time has come for the boy without a fairy to begin his journey. The youth whose destiny it is to lead Hyrule to the path of justice and truth. Navi, go now, find our young friend and guide him to me. I do not have much time left. Fly, Navi, fly! The fate of the forest, nay, the world, depends on thee. Yes, fly, Navi, fly! Go find this young Kokiri child who will apparently be the hero of Hyrule. Hello, ShdwjGaming, wake up! The Great Deku Tree wants to talk to you! ShdwjGaming, get up! Hey, come on! Can Hyrule's destiny really depend on such a lazy boy? You finally woke up! I'm Navi the Fairy. The Great Deku Tree asked me to be your partner from now on. Nice to meet you. The Great Deku Tree has summoned you, so let's get going right now. Alright, Miss Navi, we shall get going indeed. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the very first episode of Ocarina of Time. I am super pumped to get started with this Let's Play because, of course, just like with many other people my age, Ocarina of Time was the very first Legend of Zelda game that I ever played. And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Kokiri Forest. Now, who could this pretty young green-haired lady be? Yahoo! Hi, ShdwjGaming! Hello, young lady. I'm going to go ahead and try to impress you by backflipping down instead of using the ladder, because using the ladder is something that everyone does, you know? Let's be unique here. Wow, a fairy! Finally, a fairy came to you, ShdwjGaming. Wow, that's great news. I'm so happy for you. This is terrible voice acting. Now you're a true Kokiri, ShdwjGaming. Is that right? The Great Deku Tree has summoned you? It's quite an honor to talk to the Great Deku Tree. I'll wait for you right here, Get going, go see the Great Deku Tree. Okay, let's go ahead and do that. And thankfully, because of the opening cutscene, breaking the fourth wall right away, we know where the Great Deku Tree is. Past this young man, and regardless of what you do, he will just not let you pass. He's very cool too, because he can move like that. He can move sideways without even moving his legs much. Hey you, Mr. No Fairy, what's your business with the Great Deku Tree? Without a fairy, you're not even a real man! What? You got a fairy? Say what? The Great Deku Tree actually summoned you? What? Why would he summon you and not the Great Mido? This isn't funny. I don't believe it. You aren't even fully equipped yet. How do you think you're going to help the Great Deku Tree without both a sword and a shield ready? What? You're right, I don't have my equipment ready, but if you want to pass through here, you should at least equip a sword and a shield. Sheesh! This guy is kind of in a bad mood, you know? And we could think of all of these possible reasons why he's in a bad mood, but why don't we show him some grace and mercy? Maybe he just kind of had a bad day, you know? Everyone has those kind of days, those kind of mornings. At least I'm assuming that it's morning because our hero here, ShdwjGaming, kind of just got up. Unless he's one of those really lazy boys that doesn't get up until late afternoon. But here we will go ahead and find our sword, the sword that Mido really wants us to possess. And if we read this sign here, it says that this little hole here is called the Hole of El. Let's go through this small hole. And I don't really understand why it's called the Hole of El. Neither do many other people and many other Let's Players, because all you have to do is stand in front of the hole and press A. You do not need to press the button L, or the L button, in order to enter this hole, but nonetheless it's called the Hole of El. Let's see what this sign has to say. Viewpoint with L targeting. When you have no object to look at, you can just look forward with L. Stop moving and then change the direction you are facing, or hold down L for a little while. Okay, that's good. And a bunch of helpful tips regarding sidestepping and L targeting and all of that. You're not really L targeting either. As it said, you're just pressing the L button to look forward, and then if you continue to hold L and then move your control stick sideways, you can go ahead and sidestep just as I did. But here is our very first treasure chest. Not only is it a treasure chest, but it's a giant treasure chest, and it is the Kokiri sword. On the equipment subscreen, select it with the cursor and equip it with A. This is a hidden treasure of the Kokiri, but you can borrow it for a while. Be sure to practice with it before you really fight. Alright, so let's go ahead and pause, breaking the fourth wall once again, press L, and then equip your sword, because it won't automatically equip. And now, just like the text said, we should go ahead and practice with it, shall we? So we will practice on this here piece of grass. There you go. That is good enough practice. I'm ready. I'm ready to go ahead and swing my sword around at some Kokiri, devastate the lives of some of my peers, if you know what I mean. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that and start attacking this guy here. Hell yeah, what you got, man? You got nothing on me. Okay, this is getting weird. Oh, if you'll notice, take a look at that flashing Navi text. If you press the C up, then Navi will give you some very... Well, actually, it's not all that helpful, and it can get very repetitive. As a matter of fact, many people found it very annoying when Navi would always try to get your attention like that, but really it didn't bother me all that much when I first played this game. But let's take a look at this guy. Look at him. He seems pumped. I don't know. Actually, now that I think about it, looking at how slowly he's moving, he seems kind of tired. Maybe he's been practicing all day. Hey, let's work on some moves. To jump sideways while L targeting, press A as you move right or left. To do a backflip while L targeting, press A as you move backwards. To do a roll attack while L targeting, press A as you move forward. While you roll, you can avoid damage. Okay, I know that many of you are already well aware of how this goes, so I'm just gonna skip this. But I want to point out the fact that you can L target on this rock, just like what he was recommending for practice. And then if you do all of the things that he was recommending that you learn how to do, including all these sword attacks and stuff, and then if you jump attack and stuff, then that's pretty cool. But yeah, if you L target and follow the advice of that young Kokiri, you will get a good amount of rupees. I think that was 6. I saw a blue rupee and then I saw a green rupee inside the blue rupee, so that was a little bit weird. But that's a good way to get rupees. And you will be wanting to collect rupees as soon as possible because, unlike the Kokiri sword, in order to get our shield that we need in order to pass Mido, in order for Mido to let us through, we need to buy the shields from the local shop, from the Kokiri shop. And let me give you some advice on getting some money, okay? And this is not just gaming advice, guys. This is general advice for life. If you are ever in need of money, one, just like what I did just now, you can walk behind people's houses and maybe you'll find some cash behind someone's house. You could also do what I'm doing right now and enter a person's house, go through their personal belongings, and then find a good amount of money. You know, that's one way that you can find some money. So here, just in this house alone, we found 11 rupees. And then if you count the one that we found behind this guy's house, by the way, this is Mido's house, so I know that he'll really appreciate it. You know, what he knows won't hurt him. Or what he doesn't know won't hurt him, mind you. Then yeah, that's a good way to get money. And now, if you jump across stepping stones like that, then you can also get 5 rupees. And yeah, this is not just in the game, this is real life application, guys. And then if you walk across this bridge, it might take you a while, but if you walk across this bridge, then you will find a blue rupee. Let's see what this little girl has to say.
You came all the way up here? You're a real man. Look, isn't this view pretty? Change your viewpoint with up so you can look around the forest with the control stick.
Whoa! And I somehow ended up down here. Okay, I think that explains why she was looking down while I was talking to her. That was a little rude, but it turns out it was because I was rude. Now let's enter the shop because we now have 45 rupees. We now have enough rupees to buy that shield that I was talking about. Hey ShdwjGaming, look this way! Look over here with L and talk to me with A. Okay, don't don't ask me why I kind of dubbed that blonde girl kind of weird, but then I dubbed that girl just now totally normally, completely normally. But here, let's just stop with the nonsense, okay? Let's get real, let's get down to business. Let's get down to business. All right, and we have our Deku shield. Press R to crouch and defend. If you press R while L targeting, you can move while defending. There you go. And of course, we're left with 5 rupees, but I don't really feel like buying anything right now. One thing that I did notice is that this shop sells arrows, and I haven't seen any Kokiri so far, or any Kokiri ever, from my history of playing Zelda games for that matter, that ever uses a bow and arrow, that ever practices archery. Well anyway, let's just stop with the nonsense already. The Deku Tree has summoned us and we're just here talking about Kokiri practicing archery? I don't even. If you want to see the Great Deku Tree, you should at least equip a sword and a shield. Eh? What's that? Oh, you have a Deku shield. And what's that? Is that the Kokiri sword? Good grief! Well, even with all that stuff, a wimp is still a wimp, huh? I, the great Mido, will never accept you as one of us. Shoot! How did you get to be the favorite of Saria and the Great Deku Tree? Huh? Grumble, grumble. Man, this guy has a really bad attitude. I don't like this. I don't like this one bit, young man. Young man, you need to lighten up. You need to learn how to have a better attitude. And yeah, okay, let's go this way. Let's just go this way. One thing that kind of caught my attention while I was talking to Mido. Oh, and by the way, before I get onto that, here are our very first enemies. Let me note that if this is your very first time playing Ocarina of Time, then that might kind of startle you. The way that the Deku plants kind of just shot up like that. I mean, it startled me when I was a kid, I'm pretty sure. But here we have our third item. This is our third, right? We got the sword, the shield, and yeah, the Deku stick. So this is actually pretty handy. I believe that this stick does more damage than the Kokiri sword itself, but after using it, usually it breaks, so it's not so reliable. But what I was saying was that I wonder why none of the Kokiri ever bothered to find, or to use the Kokiri sword, like to open the treasure chest and actually take the Kokiri sword for themselves. Because it seems like Mido is well aware of the fact that there was a sword hidden somewhere within the Kokiri Forest, right? Because he referred to it as the Kokiri sword. But anyway, that's just a little thing. Just some food for thought. Yeah. Anyway, Great Deku Tree, I'm back! Oh, Navi, thou hast returned. ShdwjGaming, welcome. Listen carefully to what I, the Deku Tree, am about to tell thee. Thy slumber these past moons must have been restless and full of nightmares. As the servants of evil gain strength, a vile climate pervades the land and causes nightmares to those sensitive to it. Verily, thou hast felt it. ShdwjGaming, the time has come to test thy courage. I have been cursed. I need you to break the curse with your wisdom and courage. Dost thou have courage enough to undertake this task? I think that I do. So I'm going to say yes. Then enter, brave ShdwjGaming, and thou too, Navi. Navi the fairy, thou must aid ShdwjGaming. And ShdwjGaming, when Navi speaks, use the C-stick to listen well to her words of wisdom. Even I, the Great Deku Tree, can break the fourth wall from time to time, just like everyone else in the Kokiri Forest has the habit of doing. Oh, well, anyway, it looks like this is where I'm going to go ahead and conclude the very first episode of our Ocarina of Time series. Stay tuned, there's more episodes of Ocarina of Time on the way. But until next time, I will see you guys in the next episode. So until then, take care.